Hey guys, welcome to episode 13 of the third season at FC Köln. It's our first ever European final today, one-off special, and after we'll round up the season as a whole. We're playing against PSV. We're already guaranteed Champions League football via our best ever league finish in the Bundesliga, but would love to get a European trophy to go along with that. We won the Deutsche Pokal last season and hoping to win the Europa League this season against the Dutch side PSV. Well, I'll show you how they got to the final. They beat Leipzig, another German side, by 3-0 on aggregate, and then knocked out West Ham, a side that we played in the group stage in the quarters. In the round of 16, they knocked out Leicester, and in the round of 32, knocked out St Etienne, and they've been pretty solid throughout. How did they do in their group? Where are you? PSV. They won their group, destroyed their group. They and Lille romped against Rangers and Sion. Only doing it by goal scores or head-to-head. I'm not sure which comes first. I presume head-to-head, but they and Lille both had a very, very comfortable league campaign. I don't know how they did in the league. We'll have a look perhaps a little bit later on when we do the season roundup. But I'm going to be starting the side that we usually do in the Europa League, meaning that Luca Bacchio, Florian Kainz and Schindler will come into the starting lineup here. Lissandro Martins is back from injury, which is good news. He will start. Cozziello will also start alongside him. I might take Stark out and put Anton in as well. Other than that, we will be, as you see on screen, with Jorge Mera, Timo Horn, Katabak, Ehizabwe, Trezeguet on the left, etc. Obviously, if we need them, then Leao and Hadji and Weiser will come on off the bench. Without skipping to the end and cheating, as always, let me know in the comment section down below what you think your score prediction is for this final. I'm, well, relatively confident, but still aware that they could cause us some problems. I'm going to say 3-1 Köln. I'm going to back my boys. We're going to win a European trophy. What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comment section down below. We'll go to our pre-game press conference and hopefully be able to boost morale. You're about to face PSV in this final, who is a strong opponent. Can you tell us how you managed the accumulated fatigue, or how you managed the accumulated fatigue? We actually had almost 2 weeks break since the last Bundesliga game, so we're not worried about fatigue at all. Don't need to worry about that in the slightest. Given the recent close call against Leipzig, what is the general sentiment amongst your players in regards to the match against PSV? We have proven tactics that have worked in the Europa League, and hopefully they'll work again. We've been very solid. We've had our best year in all competitions other than the Deutsche Pokal. Obviously, we've won that, so you can't get any better than that. And then, that was the last question. Do you hope to bring stability to the team's performance? You'll see what we're made of in this final game. We're going to go out, we're going to play well, and hopefully we're going to win well also. That's the aim. Let's see if our aim is on target or if it's not. Confirmation there that Frankfurt have won the Deutsche Pokal. Right then, PSV. Where's the game being played, actually? I'm not sure. Yeah, they can't. They might be able to play in that kit, but we're in the home dressing. We'll play in our home kit. They can play in their away. Game's been played at Borussia Park. So the game's in Germany, although we'll only have half of the stadium, of course, as it's a final, and it'll be shared between the two teams. Right, that's how we'll line up. Let's jump into the game now and see how they're going to line up and if we think they're going to cause us any problems or not. PSV starting lineup. Lars Unestål in goal. They've got Daniel Marlon up top. Oh, actually, he's out wide. Lammers is through the middle. Escalante out wide. Bovane sat just behind Lammers. So they're playing a 4-2-1-3. Probably just an attacking 4-3-3, I guess. Schlager and Gutierrez in the midfield. They've got Yerry Mina at centre-back. Atmosphere is rocking at Borussia Park. It's practically deafening me in my ears. It's so loud. Köln versus PSV. Europa League final underway on German soil. Hopefully, we'll end with a German winner as well. Schindler's got the pace here. We'll whip it looking for Luca Bacchio. It's headed away by Baumgartel, and Yerry Mina will complete the clearance. Savage Schlager, player we'll be familiar with from his time in Germany. Daniel Marlin's going to be so quick down this left-hand side. It's a lovely ball into Lammers as well. Jorge Mera trying to deal with him and does so. Positive attacking play. Positive defensive play. We've started well. Let's keep that going and get ourselves a goal. Schlager to Bergwijn. I'm very worried of him in a central area. That pace and dribbling and passing ability is going to be really difficult to deal with. Lammers turns well. Gets away from the defender. Sadilek down here to Marlon. Thankfully, we've got pace at wing-back on either side, so we can deal with, or I'd like to think we can deal with the pace of their wingers. Bergwijn gets that to Gutierrez and flicked out here to Dumfries, who's very powerful as well as pacey at wing-back. Wait and see how attacking their wide defenders are going to be. It wouldn't let me change to Cozziello, though. It's slightly frustrating. Let me run at it with Kainz from miles away. Good possession play from the Dutch. Gutierrez. Backwards there to Dumfries. They pushed a lot of men forward, though. And that's going to help our counter-attacking style of play if we can nick it off them at any given moment. Daniel Marlon. Twisting and turning one way, then the other. Steps away from the challenge from Ahizaway. Fires that in, but Jorge Mera gets the ball. Ahizaway trying to get this through that gap, but it's not going to work. But he has got... Oh, he forgot the ball. You ran past it, Kingsley. That's not necessarily what you're supposed to do in that situation. Take the ball with you, mate. Daniel Marlon again. All of their play coming through him at the moment. Now we can counter, maybe. Schindler through the gap there nicely to Kainz. Cozziello. Look for Luca Bacchio. Kainz running off me. Counter-attack is on. Luca Bacchio is on his way. Played him into the channel. It's Cozziello that's in space in the middle. We'll look for Kainz though. Florian Kainz. 1-0 Köln! First chance of the game. First goal of the game. We lead. Yes! Right down the throat of Florian Kainz goes the camera. Right down the middle of the goal went the ball. Far side netting's where it reached, but it wasn't too into the corner where it actually shot, and the keeper might be disappointed that he's let that in. I'm not disappointed he's let that in. We're in front in the European final! Yes! There to Schlager. Marlon played in behind, and now he's out of position. Oh, picked off nicely by Jorge Mera. Quickly get that forward. Kainz does really well to win possession there, but then loses it by giving it away. I have a feeling this might be quite a counter versus counter kind of game. Although Marlon slowing things down. Immediately played in behind though. And it's a decent delivery too. Anton gets to it. Well done. Lisandro Martinez back in the starting lineup for the first time in a while thanks to that injury. Kainz squeezes to Trezeguet. Oh, I think Luca Bacchio just drifted offside there actually. 10 minutes to go till half time. We're still relatively comfortable at 1-0. They're yet to test the keeper. But they keep coming forward, specifically through Daniel Marlon on this left-hand side. It's really very, very aggressive with regards to how they're playing on this left side. Everything's coming through Marlon. So far, they haven't unlocked our defence. Ball's been lofted in, but every time we've dealt with it so far... That's a really good ball, though, and again, dealt with. Away for a corner. Gutierrez to get the ball into the middle. There are some tall players in there, including Dumfries. It's Yerry Mina that the ball was headed towards. Schlager brings that down nicely, actually. Sadilek, Schlager again. Good block by Anton. Schlager again! And it's wide of the target. They're getting closer. Martinez. Kainz. Cozziello's been very influential this season. He's pushing forward here, and he plays a great ball for Luca Bacchio. It wasn't intended for him, I'll be honest. Oh, just in off the post. 2-0 before half-time. The ball forward was actually intended for Kingsley Schindler on the right-hand side, but Luca Bacchio has brilliantly tucked that away, timed his run to perfection, pace to get away from the defenders. There's two with him there, but it's perfectly timed. Turn inside, great first touch to get it on his left. Very nearly too much of the post and came back out. As it happens, ends up being perfection in off the far side netting. And we have ourselves a 2-0 lead before the break. I reckon 3-1 in my pre-game prediction. We are on course for that thus far. 2-0 Köln. Half-time stats are pretty damning for PSV. 64% possession. 64! Just as many chances as me. Although they were both in that instant with Schlager. We had one shot blocked and then it fell to him and he went again. Both of my chances. Both of my goals. 36% possession is all we've needed to give ourselves a great first half lead. I'd say let's build on it in the second half. I'm quite happy to sit on it in this second half. We've been sat back for the majority of the game, and again, they start off by going to their left-hand side. Lads, it's not working. Daniel Marlin is not doing enough on this left-hand side. You need to switch your tactics up, otherwise you're going to lose the final. You're already 2-0 down, and you keep battering on the door of my left-hand side, or my right-hand side, sorry, on your left-hand side, and it's just not opening. Try a different door. By all means, continue to use that door, and I'll by all means continue to score goals. Let that go for a corner. Oh, I tried to, but Schindler just wouldn't ignore it. Mind, he's gone on a hell of a run here. Back to Alessandro Martinez. Can we score a worldie of a third? No, we can't. Can we win that header, though? Yes, but we're still not going to be scoring a third. Not yet, anyway. Making 2 changes. Hadji's coming on at cam. And then we brought on Rafael Leao for Schindler and moved Luca Bacchio from the central striker role to the right midfield role to have both Leao and Luca Bacchio on the field at the same time. Here is Luca Bacchio immediately involved in that wide area. I'm trying to shrug off Yeremina but can't. I kind of ran down a blind alley there. Hey, look! They've gone out wide on the left to Daniel Marlin. Hey, look! Not really creating anything from that left-hand side. They brought on Bruma. Not sure what change he'll make to their attacking play. Marlin still trying to get past Kingsley Ahizabwe and, again, failing to do so. Bergwijn, can't believe they've barely used him in this game. Get that away! Yes! Valdemir Anton. Brilliantly done. Luca Bacchio back there. Oh! Good save, Timo Horn. I'm not sure if that was on target or if it was actually going wide. Luca Bacchio won the ball and then Ahizabwe just moved out the way of it. May have been sneaking in that near post. Bruma will take the corner himself on that far side. They've now brought on Rosario for Gutierrez. So another change for them. Here's Schlager, the man that's had their only shot on goal so far. Marlon might have a pop here. Thankfully, we're able to get it away from him. Right, Ahizabwe, the right back, has been a rock for us this season. In there to Hadji, around the corner. Rafael Leao, our best goal scorer of the season and of the save. Can't do it this time. Trezeguet with a follow-up. But it's tame. Didn't get the connection he needed. Unastor with a comfortable save. 20 to go. That's the scoreline. Reads 2-0 as well. Castleback to Trezeguet. Can we make it read 3-0? Martinez forward to Leao. Martinez back from injury. Oh, but not on the score sheet as it's poked away from him as he tries to poke it home. The more we have of the ball, the more likely we are to win. Caleri coming on for them as they make an offensive change. Luca Bacchio in there to Leao. It's Lammers, the striker, that's gone off, who's been pretty ineffective for them, in all fairness. Cataback will whip it. Leao, can he get there ahead of the defender? No, Yeremina is very strong in the air. Bergwijn wins that as well. We've been so good in this final. We could have had sterner tests from bigger teams. And to be fair, with the way that we've played this season, you would have had us down as strong favourites against PSV. But they've knocked out some half-decent teams on their way to the final. And Leipzig, obviously, are no mean feat to get past. Caleri, Dumfries still powering his way through. It won't reach Caleri. Still, we stand firm defensively. Been very, very pleased with our defensive efforts in this game. We have been probably worse defensively this year than we were last year. I'd have to compare the figures, but I've certainly not felt rock solid defensively. At times, we felt a bit lost defensively, conceding quite a few goals in a couple of games. And in big games, we really have fallen apart at times with defeats to Bayern and Borussia Dortmund. Hadji will play this over the top, looking for Luca Bacchio. Can we put the icing on the cake with the final goal? We can't. Luca Bacchio, I thought, was onside there, level at least, but no, offside according to the linesman. Unfortunately for PSV, they've been the wrong side of everything in this game, let alone just the offside line. Lovely little 1-2. Vincent Cotsiello's been a shining light for us this year. Going to look for Yanis Hadji there, but poor pass on this occasion. But seconds are ticking down, and time has run out for our Dutch opposition. A solid 2-goal win. 2-0. He can't believe it there. Yanis Hadji got the yellow. 2-0. Florian Kainz and Luca Bacchio, the two main sources of our goals throughout our European campaign, and they're the two players that get the goals to win us the trophy. A deserved 2-0 win. relying again on our counter-attacking play to get the result. Thrilled with that. 2-0 win. Pione, ole, ole, ole. And our most... Well, it's just our most... I don't know how to phrase it. The player that's grown the most. Our most explosive talent with regards to his growth, Jorge Mera, starts the game with 84 potential. In Season 3, through his performances, he's up to 87. And who knows where he'll go next year after another stellar year. Jorge Mera lifts the Europa League for FC Köln. We'll be in the Champions League next year for the final season. And I cannot wait to get started with Season 4 tomorrow. For now, though, we're going to go and round out Season 3 by having a look at all of the competitions we were involved in. Have a think about the transfer window for tomorrow as well. We'll find out tomorrow exactly how much money we've got to spend to build on this team. But that is exactly the scene we wanted to leave this season seeing. Lifting. Ooh, hey. Lifting the Europa League. Let's go. Victory. Oh, we just got a trophy as well. The Legends win the Europa League final. We did. Not very much. We had slightly more possession in that second half, but didn't actually score. Oh, lads. Can you believe it? Champions of Europe. FC Köln. That's the dream. It's only taken us 3 years as well. I'll be honest, I didn't expect us to win a European trophy until at least Season 4 or 5. We are going to have to go for broke in Season 4 to try and win the Champions League. Were you really that confident? Yes. One big step for the club, though. First European trophy. And it's a massive step that now takes us on to the Champions League for next year. Their performance today was incredible. Leao is continuing his hot run of form. How satisfied are you with his performance today? I won't get carried away. It was Luca Bacchio that was the man scoring the goal. Leao came off the bench but wasn't able to tuck home a third. I'd rather give praise to Luca Bacchio. What did you make of the second half? We deserve this result. 100%. You can see from the stats, you can see from the overall play, we deserved that victory, and we will take that victory. And to be fair, it's not actually that far for us to come home, is it? To Köln from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Transfer for Lisandro Martinez immediately, 29.8 million. Dear Chelsea, go away. He's been amazing for us this season. £8.5 million for winning the Europa League isn't that much at all. We got 90 million in prize money, though, for winning the Bundesliga. Not winning the Bundesliga, for finishing third in the Bundesliga. I'd love to have won it. Next season, we'll go for the win. Of course, the finale of the Bundesliga was quite dramatic, as Dortmund pipped Bayern on the final day to get that first spot. We finished third, unfortunately further back than we might have liked. Wolfsburg in fourth, Leipzig fifth, Frankfurt sixth. Not sure who was in the Pokal final, so whether Mainz actually get European football for finishing seventh like we did in seasons 1 and 2, we'll wait and see. Relegated, confirmed as relegated, are Nuremberg and Union Berlin. Hamburg haven't yet played the relegation playoff, so I shall now advance to the end of the season, and then we'll have a look and see who won the Champions League final, who's definitely coming up from the Bundesliga 2 next year. We'll have a squad report as well, so we can see who's performed well this season and who's grown well this season, and I'll continue to train my players on the way through as well. Haas is wanting to get a new contract. I might finally offer him that between now and the end of the year, but for now, player contracts expiring. Podolski and Timo. In fact, I'm quite happy to let Haas go, to be honest. Podolski's contract is expiring. I will offer him a new one if I can. If not, he may well retire at the end of this season as he leaves. Right, I'll see you in a moment. Right then, it's end of the season time. Let's have a look and see how everything went down in all the competitions we were involved in. The World Cup is ongoing as we speak with regards the World Cup in Qatar. And then we'll have a look and see how we matched against the board. Our manager rating is certainly higher at the end this year than it was at the end of last year, which is a good sign. We were in the red at the end of last season. So we saw the league table that stood like this. We showed you that slightly earlier on. With regards to the relegation match, it was Düsseldorf that won against Hamburg. So Fortuna Düsseldorf will come up from the Bundesliga 2 after beating Hamburg. So 3 will go down and 3 will come up. In the Pokal, it was Frankfurt that won it, as we saw from that little tile slightly earlier on. With regards to the German Super Cup, obviously we lost that unfortunately by 2-0. We won't be involved in that this year. We will, however, be involved in the UEFA Super Cup next year. PSG won it by 2-1 against Manchester United this year. We will be playing in the Super Cup Manchester United, who won on penalties against Barcelona. So they won the Europa League last year, Man United, and then they won the Champions League this year. Is that a sign of things to come for us this season? Maybe. We're going to win the Champions League next year if we replicate what Manchester United have done in Season 3. Obviously, we were able to win in the Europa League, as we saw earlier on, by a 2-0 advantage over PSV. And the World Cup, as we mentioned, is ongoing currently in Qatar. Germany, Belgium, Poland, Venezuela is Group A. B is England, Hungary, Mexico and Colombia. England already through there. Similarly, Germany as well. Portugal, Uruguay, Australia, Bulgaria is Group C. Argentina, Turkey, Wales and China in Group E, although Turkey and Argentina are both already through. Wales and China losing both of their opening games. Spain, Sweden, the Ivory Coast and Scotland in Group E. F is the Netherlands, Ireland, Canada and Egypt. France, Russia, Cameroon and New Zealand in Group D. Sorry, Group G even. New Zealand with a -10 goal difference, losing both of their games so far by 5-0. Not the best of World Cup campaigns for them. And Brazil, Czech Republic, South Africa and Northern Ireland in Group H. Northern Ireland have a goal difference of -11, having lost 5-0 and 6-0 in their 2 games so far. Not the best start to them, or for them in the World Cup so far this season. With regards top goal scorers this year, Rafael Leao with so very nearly a goal every game. 32 in 33 for him up top for us. Outstanding performance. Unbelievable. 8 goals clear of anyone else. Fernandes at Bayern and then Kramaric at Bayer Leverkusen. Any other Köln players there? Weiser got 10. Hadji got 10. From count, which is very, very good indeed. And Hadji led the assists by a long, to be fair, most of those were probably to Rafael Leao. 24 assists for him. Leao set a third on that list with 13. Incredible season for Rafael Leao. What a player he's grown to be in this save. Absolutely insane. Any other Köln players in there? No. And clean sheet wise, Neuer with 20, Berkey with 12, Horn third, level with Kuhn Castells on 11. That's decent enough. But if we are to get ourselves from third to first in the league, clearly we're going to have to be better defensively next season. Goal scoring wise, we've been very good. What was our goal comparison? We scored the second highest amount of goals in the league with 80 behind Bayern's 83, but conceded 38, which is a full 16 more than Bayern Munich in second and 8 more than Dortmund in first. Our goal difference was the third best. We need to be the best if we're going to win the league next season. I'm still really pleased with the growth of the side and the way that we've shot up from 7th in first season, 7th in the second season, to 3rd in season 3. Next year, we need to keep that momentum going and get ourselves to the top of the Bundesliga. And with the right additions next year, we should be able to do that. And we'll find out in tomorrow's episode 1 of season 4 what budget we have to do that. In England, Manchester City win the league with 104 points. Spurs on 93, Liverpool on 91 and Chelsea in 4th. Arsenal 5th, United 6th. So the top 6 finishing in the top 6, which is nice to see. Wolves, oh wow. Middlesbrough haven't won a single game all season. 6 points. 6. I don't think they're cut out for this level. 116 goals conceded, goal difference of -99. That's possibly the worst performance in the Premier League I have ever seen. Wolves relegated, as well as Southampton. Surprised to see Wolves go down. Coming up from the Championship will be Fulham and West Brom. More agreeable, more realistic, top of the table points tallies here in the Championship, which is nice to see. Obviously, we've seen the Bundesliga for us this year. They didn't run away with it at the top. So hopefully that's tweaked slightly with the 1.3 version of the realism mod that we've been playing on recently. West Brom and Fulham going back up. Huddersfield, Burnley, Leeds and Derby in the playoffs there. With regards to relegation, from the Championship. Peterborough, yay! Blackburn and Hull going down. One thing to note, I'll mention this tomorrow as well. The next series after this save will be Leeds United in the Championship, and I'll reiterate that again at the start of season 4 in tomorrow's episode. Just 76 points enough for Oxford to win League One. Barnsley also going up. Ipswich, Lincoln, Shrewsbury and Mansfield in the playoffs there. Relegated will be Burton, MK Dons, Fleetwood and Coventry. And coming up from League Two, Morecambe, Bury and Grimsby, with Newport, Accrington, Cheltenham and Crewe in the playoffs. Please don't tell me, Cambridge, a lofty 16th after finishing 23rd last season, I think it was. So delighted to see some improvement for Cambridge United. In France, okay, maybe still at the top level, there's still some tweaking to be done, because PSG conceded 5 goals in 38 games and romped to 37 of 38 victories. 112 points for them. They win the league in France. Do you want the third division there? We wanted the second division in Germany. So Stuttgart back up again, Freiburg back up again, and as we saw, Dusseldorf won the relegation playoff, so they're back into the top flight as well. Another local derby for us. Serie A, Juventus, 33 wins in 38 games, 102 points for them. Inter in second, Napoli third, and AC Milan fourth. Lazio fifth, and Roma only down in 7th, which is a terrible season for them. Oh, we're going to see how PSV did in. Oh, they finished second. Ajax getting 32 wins in the Netherlands. And then La Liga. Barcelona by 3 points from Real, by 4 points from Atleti. Sevilla only 4th. I'm thinking the series after Leeds will be in La Liga. But we'll decide on that in the new calendar year. 100% Leeds United will be the next save in this series. The board. We certainly did better this year than last year. Youth development, we didn't do that one, but we're not really concentrating on youth in this save. We did sign a new striker. We just didn't assign him a crucial contract role, meaning that we weren't able to tick that box, although effectively we did tick that box. Financially, we wanted us to end with £17.8 million left over. We've ended with 10.4, which we'll go over to next year, but not too bothered about that. Domestically, didn't do very well in the Deutsche Pokal at all, but we were concentrating on European and league football this year to ensure that we got to the Champions League, and we have done, so I'm still pleased. And obviously they wanted us to reach the final of the Europa League. We won it. I'm expecting them to expect us to win the Champions League next year, but we'll wait and see in tomorrow's episode how that goes. Again, we'll be taking across £10.4 million to next season from that budget. We should have a really good budget next year. We had to boost this season's budget by player sales next year. I'm hoping that because we've gotten a massive amount of money from league prize money, and we've added to that with good European money as well, we should have a really healthy budget next season. Fingers crossed we can do so, because we are going to want to improve the team yet further. I'm thinking wingers, but we'll look into that in more depth in tomorrow's episode. With regards to player growth this season, Van der Linden's up 4 with training, which is great. Brady Scott even, is going to probably continue to go out on loan, and obviously Timo Horn will continue to be my number 1 starting goalkeeper. His vision and reactions going up. His kicking, positioning and reflex is also going up. He's kept how many clean sheets in all comps? 16 and 53. It's not amazing, but it's been more my poor defensive work in front of him than it has his goalkeeping work that's cost us that. Catterback up 2. You guys been adamant in the comments that we continue to train him, a left back, to try and improve his overall so that we're better in simulated games. Jonas Hector down 1 unfortunately, but he'll continue to play a part. Bornau up 2. Really pleased actually with the quality we've got in defence. I've made too many individual errors, I think, this season, which has been a big factor in why defensive performance hasn't been as good. Not necessarily the individuals that have been at fault. It's been my controlling of the individuals. Marko Vucic is up 4 to 69. We're going to continue to train him next year. What was that? A one club player. He has the one club player trait, so he presumably won't ever want to leave us. That's the first time I've seen that from a youth development player as well. Unfortunately, he's injury prone too, but he hasn't picked up any injuries that I can recall. Anton's up 2 to 84 this year. Dynamic potential taking over for a lot of these players. Nicholas Stark up 1 to 84 as well. Jorge Mera up 4 without training. Up 4. flying. Dynamic potential taking over there. And he is rocketed to 87. And who knows where we'll go next year. Because he's had an even better year this year than he did last year. Mitchell Weiser up 1 to 81. Shame his physical stats haven't grown too much at all. But fingers crossed, technically he can continue to grow. Had a good year, I think. 11 goals, 6 assists in all competitions. That's pretty decent, but we will be looking to, I think, to improve out wide. Sepa Kajera up 4 to 73 now. Really pleased with his physical growth. And technically he's doing well too. He's away. We love him in this save. Physically he's not grown, but to be fair, he's not needed to. Technically, he's been vastly improved. Up 5 with regards to his slide tackle. His passing's improving as well, which is great. Tackling's getting better, and physically he's already brilliant. Rock for us at right back. Backman's up 6 with training and will continue to grow. Nice to see 4-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot on him. Sometimes you get screwed over with youth players. Skill moves and weak foot. Lisandro Martinez is up 1. Hopefully next season he'll grow really well because he's had a rock solid year for us. An average rating of 7.9 in the Europa League, 7.4 in the Bundesliga. Dynamic potential should take over for him. We should see some big growth from him in season 4. Verstrata, rock solid again as a rotation player. Schwartz is up 3, out on loan. Nice to see him continuing to grow. 5-star weak foot on him. Florian Kainz actually down 1 despite having a really good season for us. In Europe specifically, 8 goals, 6 assists in 12 games. That's phenomenal. And obviously a goal in the final. 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Maybe dynamic potential will kick in for him next year. Although I would have hoped it would have done that this year, and it hasn't. So we'll wait and see. Chalinov up 2 out wide. Sally Özcan, despite not as much football as he might have liked, been really, really good for me. Up 3 ratings. Delighted with that. Kotziello's up 2. He's had a brilliant year. I've been very pleased with him. So expecting dynamic potential to take over again next year, and hopefully he'll continue to grow really, really well indeed. 82 rated now. Eustace Brandt called up to the first team. A 1-star skill move has kind of killed him off, but he does at least have a 5-star weak foot to go with that. But we're going to concentrate our training perhaps not on these really young players now for season 4, and more on players that like Verstrata, that are kind of fringe players that could improve yet further. Because these young players aren't necessarily going to have the chance, as it's our final season next year. Yanis Hadji up 3 to 82 this year. Great season for him. 12 goals, 28 assists in all competitions. Wonderful player. Expect him to fly next season. Schindler, no growth for him. A little bit of decline in places, unfortunately. But a good season, nonetheless. Not heavily involved, but still good enough. Willem's up 6 with training. His physicals look great now. 99 sprint speed, 94 acceleration. Unbelievable. 3-star skills and a 1-star weak foot though. RIP. Timo Haas, 1-star skills, 5-star weak foot. He's going to leave me though. Not asked about that whatsoever. Trezeguet. An indifferent season for him. 13 goals, 12 assists, which you'd say is a great season. But I didn't feel in game that he was as good as he could have been. So next year he'll probably see his first team spot go, but he'll still be heavily involved overall. Hugo Peters, 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills for him. He's grown well with training. Podolski's down 2. I offered him a new deal, but he would only agree 1 year. Which means that he didn't get an extension. It just kept his contract as it was. And it won't let me. Oh, I can! Lucas Podolski will not leave us. That's huge. If it would only agree 1 year, and I agreed that in like February, and it wouldn't add on, and then it wouldn't let me add any more. Hopefully, right, I'm going to try and get 2 years now, because if I agree 1 year, that's only going to count for the year that he's currently in. Please sign 2. Podolski stays! Oh, it's even better news than anything else. Lucas Podolski will hopefully retire then here at the club. 37 years of age currently, will play until he's in his 40s almost. I'll just offer him 30 grand. He'll accept that and we'll be fine. Yes, Lucas. Oh, it's great news to end on. Rafael Leao up 3 to 83 this year. He's incredible. 32 goals in 33 Bundesliga games. Christ knows how he's going to grow next year with dynamic potential. 16 assists in all comps as well. And Luka Bacchio, 12 goals in 13 games in the Europa League. 3 and 15 in the Bundesliga. 5 assists all told. I don't think we need a striker. Those two cracking the ball in the back of the net. just as much as we needed them to. I've only got one player in my youth setup now, and that's the young Lucas De Witt, who's 65 rated now, and certainly getting there. I think that's a very successful third season. And I think season 4 is going to get yet better. Next year, the treble is the aim, but I will probably prioritise the Bundesliga and the Champions League again and brush the Pokal aside because we've won that tournament already. We've got a domestic cup. We've got a European Cup. Let's win the Champions League. Let's win the Bundesliga. Let's go for season 4. I'll see you then tomorrow.